Do you feel, as we have this conversation today, that President Biden could serve another 4 years had he stayed in the race and potentially won?
Well, I'm not going to speculate. As I said, I think his record is a stellar one, and he'll go down in history as a really outstanding president.
That's NBC News host Kristen Welker making Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer squirm after she did something rarely seen on Meet the Press: hold Democrats accountable for the lies they've told. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish, and it seems like elites are officially done with Joe Biden and now giving establishment news anchors the okay to hold Democrats, and in some cases themselves, accountable for gaslighting Americans about Biden's mental health. Here's Kristen Welker humiliating Chuck Schumer by using his own words against him.
Obviously, there has been a lot of focus on President Biden's role in this. You were obviously in close contact with President Biden well before the public tuned into that debate that ultimately led to him stepping down. I want to play you a little bit of something you said last year. Take a look.
I talk to President Biden, regularly, sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
Leader Schumer, what do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
No. Look. We didn't, and let's look at President Biden. He's had an amazing record. The legislation we passed, one of the most significant groups of legislation since Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, putting in 235 judges, a record, and he's a patriot. He's a great guy. And when he stepped down, he did it on his own because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
I think there are a lot of Americans on the left and right who want to salute Biden, just not with the hand gesture Schumer wants. Regardless, it is a little amusing that he's trying to suggest Biden did a lot of good things. Let's take a minute to look at some of those. A disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal resulting in 13 dead service members, record 40-year inflation rates, soaring gas and grocery prices, 15 million illegals entering the country, record fentanyl overdoses, soaring crime, job-destroying tax hikes, weaponization of the DOJ, and using woke DEI garbage to demoralize and gut the military. And that's all just off the top of my head. But of course, when pressed, Schumer couldn't admit to any of that. He was barely able to even acknowledge his own party's responsibility in losing the election.
Democrats have said this is a real reckoning after losing the White House, the Senate not winning back the House. Here's what Democratic strategist James Carville had to say. He wrote, quote, "We lost for one very simple reason. It was, it is, and it will always be the economy, stupid." Do you agree? What do you think was the root cause of Democrats across the board loss?
We should regard this election, certainly it was a loss, but it's also a challenge. And we did some things right. Against very severe headwinds, we kept 4 of those 7 contested Democratic seats. But we did some things wrong, and we have to look in the mirror and see what we did wrong. And then there's some things we didn't do that we should have done. One of the things we have to do is we must focus on the working families of America. We believe in them. And we passed all kinds of legislation that helped them. So we did a lot of good things, but all too often, Kristen, we talked about the mechanics of the legislation and the details of the legislation, and we really didn't show the kind of empathy and concern to average, or show enough of it, to average working families who didn't realize how much we had done and how much we care for them. So what we're going to do is spend a lot of time talking to working families, showing them how much we care about them.
Notice how Schumer's solution wasn't that Democrats need to start listening to the working class. It was that they need to start talking to them and helping them understand how great Democrats are, which sounds an awful lot like what lost them the working class vote in the first place. Let's be honest, Democrats have never had a problem talking to people. Their problem is that they only seem to know how to talk down to them. Just think about nearly every issue that was important to voters voters this election that Democrats or the media downplayed and gaslit people about. The economy, crime, immigration, Biden's mental health, it was all just them explaining why everyone else is too stupid to understand how great they are. But let me know what you think. Have Democrats learned anything from this recent election? Can we expect more interviews like this from establishment media, or is it all just a dog and pony show? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!